So alternator. So the alternator is nothing but so to generate the electricity and different type of stations. Okay, in thermal power plants or hydropower plants, the power can be generated by using this alternators only, synchronous generator. By using synchronous generators only, it is possible to generate very high power. So maybe this one generator, the range of 500 megawatts. Okay, 400 megawatts. Single generator, maybe the range of 400 megawatts. Okay, so this alternator is rotated by the alternator input is a mechanical. Understood? Generator input is mechanical and the output is electrical. So we have to rotate the alternator, that is called shaft of the alternator, by using turbine. By using turbine, we have to rotate by using external prime mover. We have to rotate the rotor. Okay. So in generators, in every generator is like that always. Okay. So generator works on the principle of Fleming for DC generator from works on the principle of Fleming right hand rule. For motor, Fleming left hand rule. So here also, so alternator is works on the principle of electromagnetic induction. Okay. So in this, there are two types of concepts. So dynamically induced EMF and statically induced EMF. Two types of induced EMFs are generating EMF in the way of two waves. So one is a statically induced EMF and one is dynamically induced EMF. Understood? So well, DC machines, DC generator is a dynamically induced EMF. Am I right or not? In stationary magnetic field, the conductors are rotating. Am I right or not? In a stationary magnetic field between north and south pole, the conductors are armature conductors are rotating. Okay, it experiences some EMF, so that is called EMF and EMF in generator. Okay, so that is called dynamically induced EMF, and statically induced EMF is nothing but well, in transformer. Okay, in transformer that is called statically induced EMF. So there is no rotating parts in transformer. This transformer is a stationary device. There is no rotating parts in transformer. Okay, even though it is stationary, so it is possible to generate EMF. So how means there is a displacement between the flux and conductors. The flux is changing in a transformer. Conductors are stationary. At least one stationary, another is rotating. So then only it's possible to generate EMF amperator. Similarly, here also compulsory there must be a relative space variation or relative time variation between this flux and conductors. Relative time variation in a transformer, in generator relative space variation. Okay, that means the conductors are changing, time changing, no? Rotating. Conductors are armature conductors are rotating. Okay, the DC machines armature conductors are rotating. That means rotating conductors placed in a stationary magnet. Same concept here also. Okay, so this is called stationary magnetic field, north pole and south pole. This is called this field flux is called stator. Okay, rotor field flux. And that this armature conductors are rotating. This is called one of the conductor. Okay, this conductor is rotating in a stationary magnetic field. So that is called rotating coil. So like this, the rotating coil. So another one is a rotating magnetic field. Okay, here coil is rotating, coil is rotating in a stationary magnetic field. So generally you are observing DC machines in between north and south pole. Okay, in between north and south pole, the coil is rotating. That's called armature winding is rotating in DC machines. Okay, am I right or not? But in here, different. Okay, conductor is stationary, but magnetic field is rotating. Understood? Conductor, this conductor, armature conductor or conductor, stationary. This is stationary, but field is rotating. Okay, magnetic field is rotating. So like this. But here magnetic field is stationary, north and south pole, but coil is rotating. So that's why it is called coil rotating coil. This is called rotating magnetic field. Okay. So like this, the magnetic field is cuts the rotor conductor and the generated EMF. EMF is generated. So this concept generally is used in synchronous generators. This concept is used in synchronous generator. Here field is rotating, conductors are stationary. Okay, stator in the stator winding that is stationary, but is a rotor field. Rotor acting as a field winding, stator acting as a armature winding. But in DC machine, rotor winding is nothing but armature winding. Stator winding is nothing but field winding. In DC machine, field windings are there in stator, armature winding on rotor. But here different. Armature winding on stator, field winding on rotor. Okay. So two ways is possible also, but in general, in synchronous machine, field winding on rotor, armature winding on stator. That means conductors are stationary, but field is rotating. Okay, like this. Okay, field is rotating, conductors are stationary. So this is a rotor. This is called rotor. The rotor is excited by this called slurs. In the slurs, this is called field winding. The field winding. Okay, the field winding is excited by the DC supply. Okay, the field winding is excited by DC supply in alternators or in synchronous generator. Okay, in field winding is excited by the DC supply. This supply is connected here through slip rings. Okay, plus minus is connected to the field winding through the slip rings by using slip rings or brushes. By using brushes, the DC supply is connected to the brushes, not slip rings. By using brushes, so there is a connection between electrical connection between DC supply, that is called battery, to so this rotor. There is an electrical. This is rotating part. Okay, how to give the power supply to the rotating part to the stationary? So by using brushes. Okay, by using the brushes only, it's possible to give the contact to the rotating part to the stationary part. Okay, when you are giving the power supply to the rotor, and the north pole and south poles are developed in this stator, in the rotor, and then this field is rotating. That's why this is called field rotating. This is called conductors are stationary. Conductor, this is called armature conductor, stator winding. Okay, this is called armature winding or stator winding on synchronous machines. So this is called rotor winding. This is called field winding. The field winding is exerted by the DC supply. So once you are giving the DC supply to this field winding, the fields are constant, north pole and south pole. The polarity of the north and south poles are not changing. This fixed. So you are giving the DC supply. No? That's why the polarity is here north pole. For example, this flux generated from the here means it is acting as a north pole. Okay. So in that case, the north pole is always constant here. In this here in this portion, north phase north pole is constant. The north pole is rotating like this. Another side is south pole. Okay, the poles are rotating in this direction like this manner. Next, the poles are rotating. The poles are rotating. That is nothing but field winding is rotating. Field winding is rotating. Armature, that is called stator winding, is stationary. So this field winding rotating means this field winding, the flux cuts the stator conductor, and then EMF induced in this stator according to the electromagnetic induction. You know well. According to the electromagnetic induction, the field winding cuts the stator winding, then EMF will be induced in the stator winding. That's EMF is will be collected from the stator. So like this more generator is working. This shaft is rotated by external prime mover. Okay. So it is rotating like this. So when you are giving the power supply to this field winding, the north pole and south poles are developed like this. Okay, north pole and south poles are takes place on the rotor in this manner, north and south. This is rotating. So it is rotated by external power supply. Then it is the flux is generated like this, and then the flux cuts the stator winding. Okay, and then the field is EMF induced in this. Okay, that is called generated EMF. Okay, like this generator is working. Okay, this rotor winding is placed inside of this, and then once it is rotating in the side of the field stator. Okay, the field is called the stator winding, then EMF is generated. Okay, so generally there is called a salient pole. There are two types of rotors: salient pole and non-salient pole. In the synchronous machine, there are two types of rotor constructions are there, same as induction machine. Induction machine is slip ring and squirrel cage. Same here also synchronous machine, salient pole and non-salient pole. Salient pole rotor construction and non-salient pole rotor construction. Two types of rotor constructions are there in in a synchronous generator. Okay, salient pole and non-salient pole. So for this salient pole, the poles are like this. Okay, the rotor winding is constructed like this manner. Okay, so this is having the poles are projected like this manner. Okay, so this called field winding, this called field winding, and the field winding is connected to the external DC supply. Oh yeah, these two terminals are connected to the DC supply. So once you are giving the DC supply, this current is flowing in this field winding, and like this. Okay, then when you are giving the DC supply to this field winding, the north pole and south poles are there. Okay, the flux lines are always so leaves from the north pole and enter to the south poles. So like this. This acting as a north pole, and the flux lines are leaving from the north pole and enter to the south pole. Okay, so it is acting as a four-pole machine. Marathon. So it's called four-pole machine. The flux lines are leaving from north pole, and these flux lines are leaving from north pole. Just same like a DC machine. Okay, this flux line and this. But in DC machine, field winding are stationary. But in a synchronous machine, the field winding on a rotor, armature. Okay, rotor, field winding on rotor. But in DC machine, field winding on stator. So only some difference. Okay. So like this, it is placed on this rotor, and it is rotating. Okay, and then north pole and south poles are developed, and this field called the stator winding. This called stator winding. If the stator winding is placed inside of this field winding, then EMF induced is like this. The current changes like this manner. This is called alternating current. So like this, this alternating current is developed. If it is single phase, so like this, EMF current will be generated, and the current will be changing like this manner. Okay, if it is single phase. If you are connecting another two phases for this, because of only single phase, so because of that it is generating, and is having a based on speed based on pole, the flux, frequency of the is changing. Okay, well, F is equal to P and by 120 based on that formula. So this F is equal to P and by 120. So the poles, based on poles and based on speed, the frequency of the alternator is changing. Am I right or not? The frequency of the alternator is changing like this. F is equal to P and by 120. So this is called alternator. So alternator is working like this. Okay, if you are using if you are connected here, two more windings, that is called three-phase supply. Okay, only because of single phase, so we are generated only single phase. So another two phases are connected here. So it is acting as a three-phase alternator. Okay, if it is acting as a three-phase alternator, and this is called stator winding. Okay, it's called star connected. All windings are connected. All windings are connected at one particular point. Okay, the star connected system. So this is called point. Okay, so neutral point or one star point, star connected system. All three wires are connected at one junction. That is called this star connected system. And the remaining terminals, three terminals are this and this and this. Three terminals, outgoing terminals. This. So when it is rotating in the it's like this, so the flux cuts the stator, and then EMF is generated, and so that will be taken from this phase and this phase, this phase. Okay. So like this, three phases are having three different wave. So and each winding is displaced by 120 degrees electrical. Okay, each phase is displaced by 120 degrees electrical. Understand? So like this, this winding is designed. Then only so we will get a balanced voltage. Three phase. Okay, three phase waveform. So we will get exactly waveform based on winding. If the winding is balanced, then only we will get the pure output waveform. Otherwise, there may be a disturbance in output. Okay. So F is equal to P and divided by 120. So that is called. So if you want to generate 60 edges based on the speed, this frequency of the output is changing. If the speed changes, this frequency is changing. If it is if you want to generate 60 edges frequency, the poles nothing but 4 and speed is nothing but 1800. Then only you will get 60 edges. Okay. So for 4-pole machine, this is called 4-pole machine. Understand? So if it is rotated like this, then only so we'll getting that's 1800 RPM and 1800 RPM for 4 poles. So we'll get 60 RPM. 60. Okay. So this is so in this way this rotor is rotating. The force acting on this like this. Okay. So this that is called the force is called centrifugal force. Okay, centrifugal force. If the rotor is rotating very high speed, if the rotor is rotating very high speed, centrifugal force developed on the rotor is very high. Okay, centrifugal force. This is called centrifugal forces. This force acting on this rotor, pole phases is more. So that's why. So there may be a damage the rotor if the rotor is rotating very high speed. Because for salient pole motor, if the rotor is rotating very high speed, the centrifugal forces are developed on the rotor, and the rotor may be damaged. So that's why it is rotating so very less speed. Okay, so that's why it is used to more number of poles on the rotor. Okay, is used to it is used to create a more number of poles on the rotor. But the speed of the rotor is very less. Okay, that means pole number of poles are more and speed is less. Okay, so ns is equal to 120 f by p. The speed and poles are inversely proportional. Am I right or not? Speed ns is equal to 120 f by p. The poles and speed are inversely proportional. The number of poles are increasing, speed is decreasing. So that's why salient pole motor is the speed of this salient pole motor is very less, in the range of 120 to 400 rpm. Okay, this is speed of the rotor of the salient pole. But in non-salient pole motor is not like that. Okay, non-salient pole motor is a rotate very high speed. Okay, that may be 3000 rpm. Okay, in the range of 3000 rpm, the non-salient pole motors are rotors are rotating. You know, well, the rotor is constructed so not a single solid material, so it's different type of strips. Okay, to reduce the eddy current losses. Okay, the rotor is constructed like this manner. Okay, and so this is called stator winding. This is called stator winding. In the stator winding, the rotor is rotating. This is called stator. Okay, the stator winding. So you are having three phases. No? The three phases are distributed like this. In the stator winding, these three phases are equally distributed. Then only they will get balanced. Okay, so like this, rotor is rotating. This called rotor. No? This called rotor. This called the rotor is rotated by turbine. Am I right? That may be hydropower plant or thermal power plant, nuclear power plants. This type of alternators are used in okay. Say non-salient pole rotors are used in non-salient pole type rotor construction is used in thermal power plants, hydropower plants, nuclear power plants. Because of the speed of this turbine is very high. So in that case, non-salient pole rotors are used. Salient pole rotors are used in hydropower plants only. So because of this rotating speed of the turbine is somewhat less compared to thermal power plants and nuclear power. Okay, but in hydropower plants, the rotating turbine speed is less. That's why these turbines are used in hydropower plants generally. Okay, salient pole rotors. If the rotor is rotating like this will cause this stator and then EMF induced in the stator winding and output is generated. So like this, this alternator is working. Okay, this field winding is excited by the external DC supply through the brushes. This is called brushes. This is called positive terminal and it's called negative. There is a contact between the these two. Am I right or not? There is a contact between the brushes to the rotor. Okay, slip ring. This is called slip ring. Okay, so externally we are giving the power supply to this to the field winding. Otherwise, we have to connect to one generator here in this. By placing one DC generator and then output is generated, then output is given to the field winding of this rotor. Okay, like this. Okay, if you are placing on the same shaft the one DC generator, this DC generator is output is electrical. The output is electrical is connected to the field winding of the rotor. Then the poles are created in the rotor. Okay, so like this. So this field separate this called DC generator. The DC generator is rotating on the same shaft of the rotor. Okay, same shaft. It is connected on the same shaft. If the turbine is rotating, the DC generator rotor is also rotating, and then EMF induced. That is called output is DC. That is connected to the field winding, and then field winding is excited. Okay, this supply and the north pole and south poles are like that poles are formed on the rotor. Okay, this called poles are fixed and rotating field. This called rotating field. Understand? So this way, this is connected like this, connected to this same shaft of this rotor, and then this rotor is rotating. This called generator is output is electrical, and then electrical is given to the rotor, and then created like this. Okay, this way this alternator is working. Okay, understand? So synchronous generator, so also it's called as a AC machine. Okay, so this synchronous generator is nothing but AC only. Okay, so the output of this alternator or synchronous generator is only AC. It's not DC. Okay, so only by using DC machines only we have to generate DC. Okay, DC machine, synchronous machine and asynchronous machines are there. Two types of machines are there. AC machines, so two types of machines are there. One is synchronous machine, another one is asynchronous machine. Synchronous machine is called a synchronous generator and synchronous motor. They are the two types, synchronous generators and synchronous. Asynchronous machine nothing but induction machine. I'm already explained induction machine. That is means the speed of the rotor is not constant, it's changing. Okay, in a synchronous machine, the rotor speed is constant. That is called synchronous speed only. Okay, in the synchronous machine, rotor speed is synchronous speed only. That's why this called machines are called synchronous generator. The rotor speed is nothing but synchronous speed. That's why it is called synchronous generator. The rotor is speed and stator rotating magnetic field and rotor speed both are same. Okay, stator speed, stator rotating magnetic field and rotor speed rotating same speed. But in an induction machine, stator rotating magnetic field synchronous speed, but rotor is rotating less than synchronous speed. Okay, but in a synchronous machine, rotor is rotating synchronous speed and stator magnetic field also synchronous. In a synchronous machine, the stator is also excited with AC supply and the rotor is excited with DC supply. Remember, this is very, very important. Stator is excited by AC supply, rotor is excited by DC supply in synchronous machine. So that's why it is called as a doubly excited machine. Understand? Double excited machine. Transformer is a single excited machine. Induction machine is also single excited. Okay, DC machine. Okay, also single excited. But in a synchronous machine, double excited machine because of stator winding is excited by AC, rotor winding is also excited by DC. Rotor winding is excited by DC and stator winding is excited by AC. Two windings are excited here. So that's why it's called a double excited machine. Okay, and also the synchronous speed of this generator is called synchronous NS. If the stator and rotor is rotating, stator rotating magnetic field and rotor rotating same speed means, so what is the slip here? 0. NS is equal to 120 ABB. Slip is equal to NS minus NR by NS. The rotor speed is equal to the synchronous speed. That is making that but slip 0. Okay, slip 0 in a synchronous machine, but it was only in a induction machine slip in between 1 to 2% or 3% in induction machines, but not in a synchronous machine. Synchronous machine slip is equal to 0. Okay. The primary source of electrical is energy. So for okay, for a synchronous generator is used for primary source of electrical energy. This used for motor as a power factor compensator. Okay, understood. The synchronous motor is used to power factor compensators. Okay, that is nothing but synchronous condenser. Synchronous motors are used for power factor improvement, power factor improvement purpose. So that's called synchronous condenser. And then induction generator, induction machines are the induction generator. Due to lack of separate field excitation, these machines are rarely used in generators. Okay, asynchronous generators. Generally, it's used this type of asynchronous generators are in wind turbines. Wind. Okay, induction motors are most widely used in electrical motors on both domestic and industrial applications. We know well about induction machines. Synchronous generators, there are types of synchronous machines. According to the arrangement of the field and armature winding, the synchronous machine may be classified into two types. Stationary armature, that is called rotating field. Okay. Stationary armature, rotating field. There are two types. So stationary armature and a rotating field, and a stationary field and a rotating armature. On previous animation video, that is called rotating field. Stationary armature. In armature winding in on a stationary stator, that is called stationary, and a field winding is rotating. In that animation video, you are observe that is called field winding is rotating. Okay, armature winding is stationary. Okay, but another type also possible, stationary field and rotating armature also possible. Okay, rotating armature also possible by maintaining the field is stationary. Same as DC machine. In DC machine, field winding is stationary. The north pole and south pole, and the field winding, the armature winding is rotating. Okay, so that same concept here. Stationary field and armature is stationary field and rotating armature. But a stationary armature, rotating field. So this previous animation video is nothing but stationary armature, rotating field. So why? So what are the advantages of stationary armature or rotating field is nothing but, okay, the high voltage AC winding and its insulation is not subjected to the centrifugal forces because of it is stationary now. Advantage of stationary armature. Armature winding is stationary. Okay, the high voltage AC winding, its insulation is not subjected to centrifugal process. 11 kV, 33 kV. Better insulation is possible. Okay, understood. Why this armature winding on stationary, on field and stator? The armature winding on stator, and why this stationary? So this is the advantages. Because of that, armature winding on stator, and it is stationary, and field winding is rotating. So generally, so we have to take like the machines because of these advantages. Insulation is not subject to the centrifugal forces. No? If it is stationary, so that's why this proper insulation is possible. Okay, to control the very high voltages. And next, easier to collect the large currents from the stationary member. Am I right or no? If it is stationary, then only it is possible to collect the large amount of current from the stator winding. If it is rotating, it's very difficult to collect power. Collect the current from the brushes is very difficult. If it is armature winding on rotor, if it is rotating, it's very difficult. So that's why if it is stator, easier to collect the large current from the stationary member. Rotating field makes overall construction simple. Okay, problem of sparking at the slip rings can be avoided. Okay, that means it's rotating. No? Sparking of the slip rings can be avoided by across the brushes. So ventilation arrangement of high voltage can be improved because of it is stationary and the stator winding only. So that's why ventilation is arrangement of high voltage can be improved. Okay, this low voltage 110 volts to 220 DC excitation easily supplied through slip rings. I'm already explained in animation video. And brushes to the rotor field and winding. Okay, the noiseless running is possible and air gap length is uniform. So these are the different advantages of uh, advantages of stationary armature and rotating. Better mechanical balancing of the rotor. So this is also one of the advantages. Okay, and the construction of the alternator, stationary armature, rotating magnetic field. Alternator is a three-phase winding on the stator and the this field winding on the rotor. I'm already explained. Stator, so like this. Stator armature winding on the stator is like this, and the field winding in the rotor is like this. This is called rotor and this is called stator. Okay, stationary part of the machine It's built up this sheet steel lamination core, stamping some already explained animation with slats and hold the armature conductors. Okay, armature winding is connected in star. I'm already explained. On the stator, this is called laminated iron core. It's called laminated iron core with slats. These are the different type of slats and steel housing. So this called stator details. These are about stator details. The windings. Okay, this is called winding and this is called coil. Okay, this is called slats and this slats the winding is placed and this is called iron core. Okay. So like this, stator is constructed like this manner, laminated core. The winding is placed on this winding and like this manner. Okay, there are two types of rotors construction. Then the salient pole rotor construction and non-salient pole rotor. Okay, alternator is having two types of rotor construction. One is a salient pole rotor construction and a non-salient pole. This is called salient pole. Okay, I'm already explained this in animation video by using salient pole. These are the different. Okay, in animation video, this rotor is nothing but salient pole. Okay, this is called salient pole. This is called field winding. The field winding is exerted by the DC supply, and this is called north pole and north pole, and this is called south pole. This is called salient pole rotor. Non-salient pole rotor is nothing but some of the portion is winding is covered, and this winding is covered and winding. So these are slots. Here it is slots in between slots. So the winding is placed. This called winding is placed, and this winding is in non-salient pole rotor. So in this portion, winding is not covered. In this winding, in this portion, is winding is not covered. In this portion also, winding is not covered. In this portion also, winding is not. So that's why it is called as it will act as a poles of the machine. Understood? Here, uncovered portion of the rotor is nothing but poles of the non-salient pole rotor. Okay, non-salient pole rotor, this uncovered portion, uncovered winding. Winding is not covered here. Winding is not covered. That's why it is acting as a pulse. Okay. So this called rotor is excited by DC supply. This called non-salient pole rotor. Understood? So difference between a salient pole and a non-salient pole construction point. Okay. So rotor, there are two types of rotors, and the first one is salient pole. This is called salient pole, or also projected pole, and non-salient pole. Non-projected poles are smooth cylindrical rotor. Okay, the speed of this non-salient pole rotors is very high compared to salient pole rotor. Okay, the speed of this rotor poles are the speed of this salient pole rotor is very less. Okay, so because of more number of poles are used in rotor. Okay, but this is possible to use. There is no centrifugal forces acting on. There is no more. I mean, the centrifugal forces acting on this machine is very less compared to here. So centrifugal forces are more. That's why so it is limited to limited speed applications. Okay, so but here, so centrifugal there is no centrifugal forces are very less. So that's why it is used for very high speed applications. So this is about the difference between the salient pole and non-salient pole motors. Construction different. Poles are projecting out from the surface in salient pole. The air gap is non-uniform. You know well, the air gap is here. So here air gap is this color. Here air gap is very less. If it is stator, okay, this is called rotor. It is on the this is on the stator. Here this is called stator. So outside what is called stator. Here in air gap, here air gap is different. That's why air gap is non-uniform. Air gap is non-uniform, and the diameter of is high, and axial length is small. So the diameter of this machine is high. Diameter here diameter is high. The axial length is very small. But the axial length of this machine is very high. So okay, the length of the machines is very high, but the length of the machines is very less. The diameter is high and axial length is small. Mechanically weak. The salient pole rotors are mechanically weak. Preferred for low speed alternators. Okay, low speed alternates. Prime mover is used or water IC engines. Okay, for same size, the rotating rating of smaller than cylindrical type. The rotor is also called as a projector pole type. Okay, this is prepared for low speed alternators and 125 to 500 RP. Separate damper winding is provided. So because of by using damper winding to start this for motor it is useful start. Okay, and for generator is used to reduce the damping arts oscillations. That's called huntings. Oscillations can be reduced by using damper winding. Okay, in the cylindrical pole rotor alternator, these are the different type of points. Unslotted portion of the cylinder act as a pole is place or non-projecting. I'm already explained. The air gap is uniform due to the smooth cylindrical periphery. The air gap is uniform. Understood? The small diameter and a large axial length. Mechanically strong. So these are the different type of points. Okay, so this color cylinder pole rotor construction. Okay, understood. So like this data. So these are the different type of points. This is called like this cell, non-cylinder pole rotor. So the axial length is very high. Okay, in non-cylinder pole motions. Understood? Axial length is very high and diameter is very less. So this is called non-cylinder pole alternate rotor.